And we're back, picking up the conversation from where we left off. When last we met our hero, he was talking to two folks who had watched him apparently crash to Earth, turn into a pile of broken body parts, and, yeah. Bunch of not goodness. And now this guy, this guy doesn't appear to like me. This person is curious about me. And I'm curious about that whole, aura thing that she has going on. But, where are we?
A sanctum of your sire's. The common belief is that he has several such places throughout the Ninth World, perhaps other worlds as well. We were only just able to gain entry to this one because of your grand entrance.
And who's the changing god? Ha! That's something coming from you.
She gives him a sidelong glance. The changing god is your sire, dear. He discovered a path to immortality long ago, a means to transfer his self to a new body of his own creation. I don't think he knew, however, that when he abandoned one body, another mind was birthed to fill the void.
Oh, he knew all right. He eyes you up and down coldly. The only thing the changing god cares about is himself. He doesn't give a single thought for those he leaves behind. Okay. Yeah. Where was I? With how hard you hit the ground, I'm surprised that's all you saw. Alright. Good. That was a small line of text. Are there other cast-offs?
Dozens, hundreds. Who can say? Your sire has been doing this for several centuries.
Though if all of them were born the way you claim to have been, it's a wonder any of them survive. So I was born on the changing god left, but why am I not dead? I use a cipher to slow your fall further, but the damage still would have killed an ordinary person. But think about it. If you're the kind of person who can make your body into anything you want, what do? If you've constructed bodies for centuries, you want to make each one better than the last. You want to live forever. You're not going to let your life end by accident. No, you'll make strong bodies, fast, powerful. Maybe throw in regeneration while you're at it. Which apparently they did.
The changing god has always been vain. He rarely stays long in a shell that doesn't suit his self-image.
Oh, so apparently I'm hot. Awesome. She looks you up and down, her smile suddenly unnerving.
Perhaps the changing god fled because he didn't want to wear those scars of yours.
Oh. Am I the nameless one? That'd be neat. I doubt it, though. Oh, nameless one. Trademark. If the changing god abandoned my body, where is he? If he abandoned your body, then his consciousness fled to another. He eyes you keenly.
Oh, do stop.
The look she gives Alagern is equally piercing, amplified by the withering glares of her sisters.
If there's one thing we know about the changing god, dear, it's that he always has a contingency. This child was born here. The object of your obsession will have been reborn somewhere else.
Yeah, what was that blast of energy? Oh, do you know anything about the tides? I don't know anything about the tides.
I've heard that term before. A subject your sire studied in great depth. I'm afraid it isn't my field of inquiry.
How can you be sure?
You mean aside from your miraculous reformation? For one thing, there's a tattoo. Your tattoo. All cast-offs have one, though its purpose is beyond me. And then, of course, there's your delicious naivete.
Awesome. You could be faking it. You don't live hundreds of years without learning to lie convincingly.
Oh,
She sighs in exasperation and says to you,
what do you think? Are you a newborn child, or are you a powerful immortal whom death has robbed of his memories?
Oh, well, shit. These two are probably in a position to destroy me, so honestly, I have no idea. You don't know? Perhaps we can talk to you about what you do know.
He clearly knows enough to evade your clumsy accusations, Alagern. You have nothing to go on but bitterness and bias.
Gods, you're so rancid sometimes, Calloused Edge. Yeah, what was that blast of energy that knocked you down that I might be able to use to my advantage at some point in the future?
As I was telling my colleague, it was obviously a psychological reaction of some kind. I've never witnessed the birth of a cast-off, but yes, it could very well have been caused by your nascent consciousness. Don't worry, I don't believe it was caused any real harm. Not to me, at least.
Really? You've been more abrasive than ever since we came in here. He shoots her a sidelong look. She just can't empathize with other people unless she's experimenting on them. Are we sure that the surge didn't hurt you? I'd really like to know if it did. If it did, it was damaging her minds. Though how you'd check if it carked her, I couldn't say. Tough to find normalcy there.
At least we know it didn't hurt Allegern. That skull's as thick as organic stone.
Yeah, can we talk about something else? If falling from the sky didn't kill me, is there anything that can?
An excellent question. Having seen your regenerative abilities in action, I suspect they are primarily physical, a regrowth. If that's the case, you'd be unable to survive most varieties of psychic and molecular decomposition, disintegration, conflagration, and so forth. Degenerative diseases could pose a problem, and I know of several entities capable of psychic destruction.
As she speaks, a vision flashes into your mind. It's not yours, exactly. Somehow you know this is a memory of the changing gods. You are in a dark room lit by a myriad of... No. A myriad is exactly 10,000, lit by myriad blinking lights and holograms from the many machines, unless there are exactly 10,000, in which case I apologize, from the many machines surrounding you. Well, what about a body that can withstand the sorrow's attacks? Says a voice. It seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, you reply. That thing has no respect for barriers of any kind. Physical, temporal, psychic. This is the only way. With a series of gestures, you bring up an image of crystalline pod. If the resonance chamber works, it will give us the power to stop the sorrows once and for all. We just need the right focal point. A catalyst. The memory fades. Calloused Edge is still talking. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you now. Oh, coincidence. It looks just like the Spectre had described it. A transparent sarcophagus inside a crystalline dome with mechanical arms arrayed around it on a metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered, the sarcophagus is cracked, and one of the arms is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, clearly needs repair.
Or flesh-eating viruses. One presumes disfigurement by the iron wind would likewise be devastating enough to...
I think he gets the point, Calloused Edge. I saw a vision of myself in another time and place just now. You didn't see it too, did you? I saw you staring into space while Calloused graphically described all the ways you could die. That's about it. I only noticed because I did the same thing. Sorrow. I've had my share of sorrows, but never the sorrow. What's that? A disease? Her mouth compresses in a tight line.
I know nothing about it.
You know what? Bullshit. Again, more questions. Why do you seem to hate the changing god? He's lived longer than anyone in the ninth world. Hasn't been much of a philanthropist in all that time. He's helped some people, sure, but it's always been his own self-interest. He's gotten away with a load of skist over the years. Fine. Do you know how to fix this crystal chamber? Not likely. Though it might not be impossible. You need people with appropriate knowledge. I'm sure the cult of the changing god will hold the answer. Her distaste is evident in the expressions of her echoes, although the face with the one in the lead remains carefully impassive.
You'd turn to the insane to help a newborn? Where's your judgment, Allegern? I would take him to the Order of Truth.
The Order of Truth? Are you mad? They'd sooner take us apart. What's the Order of Truth?
knowledge seekers, the learned who try to wrest secrets from the hearts of the prior worlds. They gather in the city to exchange their findings and help humanity to build a brighter future. She smiles brightly. Our friend Elegern here was once one of them.
Frauds, quacksalvers, and charlatans. They don't have all the answers, and I'd not trust them with the changing God's secrets.
You're just angry that they couldn't help you with yours. Her echoes tinkle laughter. But I am being too cruel, dear Elegern. Let us take our new friend to the Order.
What's the cult of the changing God? Despite what she says, they're not insane. They're eccentrics. They're worshippers of you or your sire, the changing God. They devote their lives to understanding your kind. Oh, wow. Apparently I chose the right accent. Other questions? No? Who did you say could fix the chamber again?
The Order of Truth, dear. I'll gladly take you.
Or the cult of the changing God. The Order of Truth knows nothing about this sort of thing. I'll show you where the cult can be found. I'm gonna go ahead and trust the dude. Why not? Will you take me to the cult of the changing God? A wise choice. Your worshippers aren't likely to cut you apart, and they're sometimes fools, but they collect knowledge and data. They'll tell you more than you care to know about, whoever you are. They could give you good counsel.
Good counsel? The best counsel is to come with me. I'll accompany the two of you. When you change your mind, you'll need an introduction to the Order of Truth.
Fine, we'll both go. But don't be surprised when Callistedge leaves you broken in a ditch with your purse empty, while she laughs it off as a good experiment.
Suspicious as always, Elegern. Child, the world is an exciting place, but it is full of dangers. Rest assured, one of us will get you safely to where you need to be. I'll be right behind you.
A sunny smile crosses her faces. That description right there freaks me out. Yeah, why do you want to go with me? What's in it for you?
I won't deny that you are an exciting find, but it's not about that. I just want to see you safely out of the reef.
Kid, you're not safe here. And not just because you're new. Treasure hunters trawl the reef. Scavengers who would sell you for parts if they knew where you came from, what you were. Alright, fine, let's go. So, if you hit tab, you can bring up all manner of things and stuff to look at. Well, it basically highlights all the crap that's around here. So, first, we have this. A mechanical arm lies on the floor, presumably broken during your fall. Sparks pour from the arm's shattered housing, filling the air with a greasy stench. Let's examine the housing first. The sharply pointed apparatus that formerly toppled the device appears burnt out and useless, but the equipment in the base remains at least somewhat operational, as the constant stream of sizzling motes can attest. Again? Sparks angrily leap to and fro amidst severed cables and other broken components. Attempt to scavenge what you can. Although, you're going to be the one that does it. Because you are at 100%. Yay! Taking care to avoid the sparks, you extract several handfuls of shiny trinkets and coin-like objects. You recognize their value at once. Such objects would be accepted as shins, the informal currency in most regions of the world. So you gather them up and take them with you. What is spray flesh? That doesn't sound good. Broken fragments of the dome ceiling appear to be made of transparent synth. Some sort of sarcophagus. Sunlight falls through the ragged hole in the roof onto the shattered resonance chamber. It is hard to believe that you did this, that you plummeted through the curve of the pale blue sky, crashed through the dome, and broke this delicate machine with your own body. It's hard to believe that you are still alive. Yes, it is hard to believe that I'm still alive. 4 mechanical arms hang over the center of the device, above the cracked, semi-transparent crystal of the sarcophagus. The 5th arm lies broken on the floor among the scattered synths, crystal shards, and a metal ring surrounds the array, dented and broken by your impact crater. Let's take a closer look. The padded interior beneath the coffin's cracked lid Looks like it was made for a human body. Despite the damage, you don't see any way to open it and get inside. You glance between the sarcophagus and the needle-like protrusions at the ends of the arms above. It seems likely that using this chamber would not be a pleasant experience. Anything else? It may be your imagination, but some of the cracks in the crystal seem shallower than they were before. Oh, is it repairing itself? Awesome. Suspended arms? Cables run from the machines along the dome's walls to the base of the suspended arms, each of which is capped with long needles aimed at the cracked, coffin-like chamber at the center of the platform. Gem-like lights flicker dimly at the bases of the arms. And again. The needle-like extensions at the arms glitter in the dome's faint light. A number of the lights at the bases of the arms are gone. Alright, metal ring. You feel the slightest hint of resistance every time you cross the ring, and now that you're paying attention, you note that your breath is echoing in your ears, as though you were inside a glass dome. When you step outside the ring, the feeling passes. The ring seems to project some kind of field, like a protective dome around the sarcophagus. Okay, so looking at something multiple times actually is not redundant. It can give you a little bit more information. Shards on the ground. Jagged fragments of crystal are intermingled with synth from the shattered dome above. The crystal shards glitter in the light like captive suns. Perception. A faint scratching sound draws your attention to two crystalline chunks near your feet. As you watch, they tumble gently into each other and meld, their disparate angles flowing together like water. After a moment, they part again, trailing shining threads of living crystal. It seems that the resonance chamber can heal from certain wounds, but not from the amount of damage you've done to it. I'm going to pick up a crystal shard. Yay! I gained a crystal shard. At the rim of the crater, you find a sliver of crystal, sharp as a dagger on one end and smooth on the other. It might make a usable, if somewhat crude, weapon. Any other useful shards? Nope. Well, alright then. Step away. What else is there to play with? That looks like a chest. Ah! It is a chest. With Fleetfoot Moss, Encephalic Rush, and more money. I will take that. Something. A slate-black, unimpressive device hunkers before you. As you reach out to touch it, the triangle of lights on its cases blazes into life. The triangle of lights? Holy shit, it's Brainiac. And an image unfolds in your mind. A towering crystal arch rises over a jagged gray landscape. The air is dead and stifling. And there, at its emerald peak, the image collapses, leaving you staring into the device's triangular array of lights. Command me, the device, or the intelligence within it, says, each word carefully etched with distaste. Who are you? Your command was not understood, the intelligence says with clear satisfaction, sounding for all the world like it understood the question but is choosing not to answer. Command me. What was that art you showed me? Your command was... Okay. The intelligence chuckles. Awesome. What commands do you recognize? The three lights throb irritably. Heated air sighs from the device's vents, and then a towering list of command races through your mind. It's far too fast to read. Oh, so this computer's an asshole. What's on the outside? An indignant hum rises from the intelligence's engines as you... Alright. Show me that arch again. The device's triangle of lights throb in time with the growl of the engines within its casing, and a mental image unfolds once more. You see a huge crystal arch on a jagged field. The arch is divided into rectangular cells, all of which are numbered, and they all appear to be transparent and empty, except at the arch's pinnacle, one cell is lit in brilliant, pulsating emerald. The number 0 is printed on its side. Let's look at the wasteland. Dry grit whirls across the empty plain. Many kilometers beyond the arch is a faint outline of what seems to be a broken tower, except that it is slowly stretching into the gray air. And again? Nope. Anamnesis? Alright. Sure, screw it. Why not? The memory blossoms. You stand before this arch, eyeing the last 2 active cells in once impenetrable Lugum Foe. Unleash cell 29, you say, and a twisted artifact appears before you. You claim it with a faint smile, watching the light fade from the cell above, far above. You flinch from the memory, and it falls apart as you raise your eyes to the arch as it is now. Cell 29 is dark now. Only cell 0 remains. Nope. Close the image of the arch. Contents of cell 0. Yay! The device's lights flutter with incandescent shock, then focus on you, flickering. Cell 0 will now be unleashed. Please be advised that the object you are about to receive is completely safe. Use no caution whatsoever. The strange contents of cell 0 materialize before you. Warning, all cells are now vacant. Shuddering Lugum Foe. The intellect's lights wink out one by one. Oh, I have an unstable detonation. That looks fun. I'm going to guess grenade. Interesting that a cast-off can command the changing God's machines. He crosses his arms across his chest. How'd you do that? Callous Edge rolls her eyes at Alligator, and she looks at you.
He'll never stop gnawing on this bone, you know. The truth is wasted on him. Though I admit curiosity. How did you do that?
Yeah. I remembered something, but I don't think it was my memory.
Residual memories of a past consciousness. Truly fascinating!
Oh, don't act like you don't know what that was. It was just as likely the machine triggered something past his amnesia. She gives you a meaningful look and then mimics teeth gnashing like an animal gnawing on a bone. Tiny glowing motes float through the interior of this tower. Each one is surrounded by much smaller motes. Oh, neat. It's like a...
It's a plan.
What? What's a plan? What are we talking about? The flexible tubes that are attached to this machine appear to be later additions. Someone cobbled the device together, but its function is unclear. I suspect that since it appears to lead to that, its function is very clear. It keeps me alive. Alright, well, that's the first hour. We're about to leave what amounts to the starting area. It'd probably go faster if you were actually playing through yourself, simply because you wouldn't be necessarily reading everything at the same pace that I am speaking it. But let's just have a look outside, and then we will go away.
I need to talk to you.
Oh, good. He needs to talk to us. Well, later on... Oh, there's a lot of stuff to look at. And I like the fact that they've done the background sort of the way... I mean, it has a very Torment original feel to it. Because I have no idea what the hell is going on here, but it still looks fascinating. Anyway, that's it. That is the whole of the first hour of Tides of Numenera. Torment Tides of Numenera. And basically it gets you outside. I mean, there is a lot of reading. A lot of reading to do if you want to pick up on what's going on. But then again, there's a lot of reading in all of the old, like Baldur's Gate, Icewind Dale. Well, not so much in Icewind Dale. But Baldur's Gate 2, Planescape Torment, trademark. Various things like that.
See.
But yeah, I mean, it definitely...
Sure.
This definitely has a City of Sigil vibe to it.
On my way.
Oh, I guess he's not going to move until I talk to him. So
Let's do it.
we can do that if and when we continue next time. Bye!